I wanted to talk about what makes a good leader. I had this list on my phone for a couple of months, and I add to it here and there. But when you think about people in your life who have been great role models, a big influence on you, great leaders, good mentors, and what qualities and characteristics actually make them great leaders and friends and so on. And so a couple of them that were on my notepad in no particular order, and this is literally just a couple because I'm telling you on my notepad I have a whole bunch. I keep tons and tons of notes. So Mrs. Grind, my 5th grade teacher. I thought this was an appropriate one because, a lot of us are going back to school, boys and girls. So also, by the way, let me know in the comments section when you're going back. Actually, so it's funny because I see so many people in the chat rooms and stuff like that for the video game streams, but I don't always know like how old everybody is. So let me know what grade you're going into. What are you excited for? But Mrs. Grind, 5th grade teacher, she inspired me to learn. She inspired me to write poetry and analyze poetry. And she did that by just being honest and transparent. She was the first teacher that was very, I don't know, maybe it's just because I was in 5th grade and like I was starting to like really appreciate education and learning. Maybe, because I really did like it then. That's when I really got excited about learning, was definitely 5th grade. And Mrs. Grind, I mean, I have so many memories of that teacher. It's always you always remember the people who, what's the quote? My friend Chip Moore has a quote. It's not about, it's about who remembers you fondly. It's not about who remembers you. It's about who remembers you fondly. And she just had an impact on me. Like I remember her reading poetry and then talking about her grandmother, or her own mother who had passed away. And she talked about her sugar cubes, and she would eat her mother, like the same brand of sugar cubes from her that she put in her tea. Little things like that. She was a great role model, great teacher. The second great leader was Mr. McDermott, my 9th grade algebra teacher. And if you knew Clay in 9th grade, you would, oh man, you'd be like, whoa, dude, what's going on here? I was pretty over. Yeah, I was a big boy. I was a 9th grader, man. I was a 9th grader. I'll just say that. But Mr. McDermott taught me math, and I hated math. I never liked math. I still don't like math, and goddamn, I will be sweating bullets the day I have to do a math class for college. But I listed that he had unwavering passion. He was always excited. I mean, when he would come into the room, and I think about him every single time I do a public speaking engagement. I channel Mr. McDermott every single time I talk to a crowd or talk to people or anything like that for work or for anything else. Because he would, like for example, the whiteboard would be right behind us here, or the chalkboard or whatever it was. It'd be whiteboard at that time, and he would be writing, these algebra equations. And if he was running out of space, dude, he didn't care. He kept writing on the walls and the door and the floor, and he'd keep going. The janitors hated him, and he would scream at the top of his lungs every day. And he would just be having so much fun. And in the morning, when we got in there, he'd play the first 5 minutes was just rock and roll, just Meatloaf and just dope shit like that the whole time. Just cool stuff. And a variety of things. He was also a guy that I got a lot of my musical interests from, I think, because that's an influential time when you're in 9th grade, and it's not often that you have a teacher playing like dope songs, man. We're talking like these were like a variety from 70s, 80s, 90s, and we're talking. I remember he introduced me to like bands like Meatloaf, which is very obscure, to bands like what's that one band? The Way You're Bathed in Light. Oh, what is that band? I can't remember. But anyway, a whole bunch of great songs came from Mr. McDermott's class. And also, he was the first drill instructor-like person that I ever met. And I mean that in a way, in the best way possible, because he never gave up on you, even when you'd given up on yourself. And that was a great learning experience for me in 9th grade, when it's easy to give up on yourself as just some 9th grade kid who sucks at math. But when you have a teacher like that, who's passionate and excited and rooting you on, and also doesn't give you the option to quit on yourself, that's a good leader, for sure. For sure. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So that's a couple of them right there. That's a couple of them right there. A couple of teachers on my list, and I've got a list of plenty of friends of mine, plenty of friends that are great leaders, great mentors, and I've got the list of the best qualities of each that have crafted me. People like Mark Fayloga. He influenced me greatly when I was a young Marine, and he was able to inspire me to actually get off my ass and give a damn and always put my best foot forward and try my hardest. And that's honestly the reason why I am where I am today, is because I have no quit. I have no quit in me. It just doesn't exist. I'm not saying that's braggadocious at all, I promise. It's just ingrained. Like, if something has to get done, I'll find a way to do it. Whether it's a video, a photo, a story, social media, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the job is, what the task is at hand. We'll figure it out. And then you got other people like my buddy's Jeff. For people like Jeff, I got a couple. He's methodical, fair, open to criticism, encourages multiple viewpoints. And this is interesting because I work with these guys, so they might or might not listen to this. I don't know. And then Bob. Bob sees the best in people, values loyalty, and stops at nothing to make sure his people succeed. And like I said, we've got a whole bunch of people on this list. And I'll probably talk about more people as these podcasts go. So again, in the comment section, let me know a couple of your favorite leaders and what characteristics actually made them good leaders. Why are they good leaders? Why are they good friends? And why are they good people to you?